And to details, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi gave his directives on Wednesday to increase governmental subsidies for the National Coalition for Civil and Development Action with £1 billion to enhance its social activities, as the year 2022 is chosen to be a special year for civil society. During his meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and heads of civil society organizations, the President also directed to continue social guidance efforts to extend various social consolidation for the most needy citizens. He also instructed to promote charity efforts of the coalition to be extended to the operational activity through offering more work opportunities and increasing production. The head of state expressed his appreciation to the social activity of the National Coalition around the country amid unprecedented international economic circumstances that have negative impacts on many sectors, especially nutrition. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said the meeting tackled activities of the National Coalition since its establishment at the beginning of the year, which is composed of an assembly and a civil organization in addition to the Decent Life organization, as well as the General Union for Civil Societies and Organizations. The meeting also touched on the ongoing efforts exerted by the National Coalition in the charity and developmental fields at the Republic's level, within the framework of the social guidance and support system of the state aimed at supporting targeted sects of the society in coordination and cooperation between the government and civil society organizations. Also on Wednesday, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held another meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Planning and Economic Development Hala Said, and Minister of Transportation Kamil el-Wazir. The meeting tackled the latest developments of the Ministry of Transportation's ongoing projects. Minister al-Wazir reviewed measures of continuous upgrade for the public transportation system across the nation at the executive and constructive levels and means of providing sufficient funding for it. The minister also reviewed the progress report of the transportation sector in Sharm el-Sheikh, particularly the development process of its port to support the tourism city's capabilities, as well as the upgrade of the airport and its facilities. In this regard, President el-Sisi directed to boost the dependence of the ministry's projects on locally manufactured ingredients according to the international standards in cooperation with the private sector. Meanwhile, the meeting focused on the Ministry of Transportation's plans to achieve the utmost benefits from the unexploited lands in East Cairo affiliated to the ministry. Upon directives of President el-Sisi, a military plane C-130 equipped with medical aid headed to Benina military base in Benghazi, Libya, to transfer tens of injured people who are suffering burns for treatment at the Armed Forces Hospital for Bones and Supplement in Al-Hilmaya, Egypt. The Armed Forces further extended its wishes for a speedy recovery for the injured people. The move comes within the framework of Egypt's solidarity with Libya and its pivotal role in the country, as well as its continuous support to it to overcome all crises it is facing. A truck had exploded in Bin Bay city, causing a number of injuries. Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri, the chairman of the upcoming COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, received a phone call from U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate Designate John Kerry on Wednesday. During their telephone conversation, Shukri said Egypt was looking forward to witnessing a U.S. high-level contribution in activities of the conference, which will be held next November. The phone call tackled means of coordination between Cairo and Washington in the field of climate change and followed up in the outcomes of their last meeting in Berlin, as well as the Green Trade Delegation to Egypt. The National Dialogue held its fourth session at the headquarters of the National Training Academy in Giza's Sheikh Zayed city on Wednesday. During the session, the Board of Trustees discussed formation of its subcommittees and the latest economic situation. Earlier in its third session, the Council expressed appreciation on the recent presidential pardons for activists. The Board also agreed to discuss 5 main social issues, which are education, health, overpopulation, family and social cohesion, and their national culture and identity. South Korea's Black Eagle aerobatic team participates in the Pyramids Air Show 2022 along with the Egyptian Air Force EAF Silver Stars team at the Pyramids area in Giza on Wednesday. At the joint practice, Black Eagles will participate with a number of aircrafts that will carry out different distinguished air shows. EAF Gazelle helicopters Horus will take part in the show. More than a dozen Korean companies are taking part, with Hanwha Defense Company showcasing its 155mm howitzer with a maximum firing range of 40 kilometers. The joint training highlights the deep ties that bind between Egypt and South Korea.